Hello. Welcome to the Q and the opening of January. Nope, July 39. Got that one wrong. We are going to war. So let's look at the buys here first. We had 24 to spend. We have 2 infantry, 2 paratroopers, a strategic bomber, our Spanish Blue Legion guy, and then when Germany goes to war per the Canada at War expansion, they will get this sub here, and next turn this sub here is going to go up to the place units, which goes at the end of the turn, but I'm going to move it there now so we get that out of the way. All right, for the tech, we've got also the other thing too is now we can proceed further than stage 2 on the tech. So I've shuffled it back up to choose some of these advanced mechanized, wartime income, long-range aircraft, advanced subs, and jet fighters. So the first dice here, we'll throw the 3 7s and see what happens there. Well, we got 1. Yeah, that's a 6. So we got the yellow. Let's see. We'll throw the 8s. And we got both of those. So not too bad. 3 out of 5. So these failed. Let me mark that on the board here. It is, where's advanced or long-range aircraft. So that'll go up to 7. Subs goes up to, not 7, stage 3. I don't know why I said 7. And then jet fighters was the other one that is up here. So 3 on to stage 3. That's pretty nice. Of course, I wanted wartime income to go there, but that's how that works. So no other rolls. Turkey is over. We spent a lot of money on Turkey. Well, not as much as France. They spent a boatload. So let's go right into the combat. And on this side of the board, I'm going to do all the sub action. And then I'm going to go to the other side of the table and do all the land action up north. So I'll move the subs and we'll roll the dice. These dice have the markers on them, the British flag for the red, the cross for the Germans, and that is represents a 1. So the markers represent 1. So let's go over here to our first sub battle, which was going to be a convoy of the Commonwealth Anzac line here, but there's a target of opportunity. So the sub in 137 will come up 2 and sink this transport in C zone 127. So it kind of actually looks like that going down. So that is gone. That is a freebie. We don't have to roll for that. The one we do have to roll on this other side of the board here, the sub from, I'm gonna glare here, 117 is coming up here to C zone 83. And we're gonna convoy this Indian Ocean line for 3. And the way I understand it is if it goes over, you can apply it to another convoy line, which would be this West or East Africa line for 1. So we will roll those dice and see. So remember, the red is Britain, and it's 3 to 3. The good news for Germany is that sub gets a +2, so it's 5 to 3. So that convoy line, let me get a marker here. Of course, can't find the 2s. All right, so $2 will come away from the Far East Command. Is that right? Yeah, that's the marker on that convoy line. All right, moving along. We're going to come up here, and I won't be able to get both of them in here. We've got 2 subs coming south from 48 into 79. And then this sub is going to remain here in 48 but will be joined by this sub here in 13, and it can go through these ships because there's no aircraft on maritime patrol. So he'll join there in 38. So we've got 2 attacks on this convoy line here, which is a 6, and then this convoy line that comes through the med is a 6, and any extra on this one can be applied to the other ones. This marker is to remind me that when I have 2 or more subs on a convoy line, I get a +1. So these subs are not +2, they are +3. So let's see where I can put the tray here in the middle. And let's see how we go. All right, so we're gonna do this attack first, so we can see if we max that line out, which would be nice. So the first sub has a +3 to the black dice. All right, so that is a 5. So that, let me bring a tray over here. So that is 4. We got 4. Whoops, rolled it all the way across. I'm putting a 4 on that convoy line for the first sub. The second sub gets a 5, so that would be an 8. So that obviously gets the other 2. So that'll be $6 off the East Atlantic line. And now we're going to come down here and we're going to attack this Mediterranean line. And the first sub. So we would actually, that would be a 7 to 6, so it's a 1. So we're going to put a 1 on that line. And then the second sub is a 8 to a 4, so that would be 4 more. So there is your convoy from Britain. So Britain will lose $6, $10, $11, and the Far East Command will lose 2. And that is our submarine warfare at its finest. Let's go around to the other side of the board for the other combat moves. I think I'm going to need these dice up there. All right, take the tray with me. So we get a look at the far side of the map here. Not a lot going on. Oh, stubbed my toe. That hurt. Oh, okay. All right, so we do have, I wonder if I should widen that a little. All right, so I probably should have done that when I was rolling the dice for those subs. We have 1 naval combat because Poland is being attacked, so they've got a torpedo boat destroyer, and we're going to move from Sea Zone 13. We've got a coastal sub and a torpedo boat destroyer that will join that battle. So let's do the naval combat. Well, will it matter? Yeah, someone will have a cow, I think. So that's going to be that combat. All right, so the first combat here will be Operation Spade. And I'm going to put these 4 Belgian defenders on the Spade task marker there. Going into Belgium of German origin will be this paratrooper, and that transport plane will fly 1, 2, drop him, and then head back because that's where the other paratrooper is. So any attack on Belgium should always begin with paratroopers. All right, so from Western Germany, here is 5 tanks, 3 self-propelled artillery. Whoops. Let me put that over there so you can see it. All right, I've got a Marine, which he's not really going to do any amphibious stuff, so I've got an infantry, motorized infantry, and a regular artillery. And we are going to follow that up with a fighter and a Stuka, so a tactical bomber. And I knocked it over, so I'm wondering if I had that going into Belgium. I'm pretty sure I did, just because we want to make sure we get through Belgium first, because the second attack of Operation Diamond here will go against this French soldier in Picardy. And that will be the blitzing units of the tanks and the self-propelled artillery. And I had spoken with Ozark about if he wanted to scramble this fighter to defend that infantry, and he said no. So let's move on to Poland over here. And let's see. All right, so we're going to put our heart tray here. Operation Heart will be these two infantry from East Prussia. And they're going here into, and I'm sure that's Western Poland. Yeah, well, let's just put the Polish defenders on there, on the chart. It is 3 infantry and a cavalry defending. All right, from Eastern Germany is, I'm trying to tilt it without spilling the guy, 4 more infantry. We have an artillery, a light tank, and then we have from Western Germany, moving 1, 2, will be the fighter, the fighter and then that advanced medium armor. It's the 2nd SS Panzer Division. So let me put a 2. It shouldn't be a big deal on that plane. The other planes on the other one, they all have 4 left. I'll put that on there. All right, so Operation Club will be going into, and I can't read that, upside down. Well, it's the southern Polish territory. I'm not even going to take a stab at it. But we've got our club here. We'll set that in there between the Russia. It is defended by 2 Polish infantry. From Slovakia, we have a light tank, an artillery, and 4 Slovakian infantry, which will be followed up by a fighter from Bavaria, going 1, 2, so he'll have a movement of 2 left. Well, actually, it's an air base, so he'll have 3 left. And actually, this one came from an air base, so he'll have 3 left. All right, so those are the 4 battles. And we got the naval battle, and then we've got the 4 battles set up on the cards. Oh, but I almost forgot. I've got some cavalry. We've got 2 cavalry from Bavaria coming into Belgium there on the heart chart. Let's set it over here. And then we've got 3 more cavalry from Berlin going 1, 2 into the Belgium. So that's a total of 5 of our 6 cavalry. The other lone cavalry, and I'm going to chip that out, put that unit on there, he's going to go 1, 2 into the club, into that southern Polish territory. So there are your battles. This is the blitzkrieg move. So these 4, well, the naval battle will go first, and then we'll do these 4 battles on these cards. And then we have the option to do non-combat move and then attack again with a final non-combat move. So that is a special one-time use for Germany. I think it says there, not before 1941. They have to use it before 1941. So you can't save it and use it, which would be kind of nice if you could. So that is the attacks. I'm looking here. Yes. All right, so let's do that naval attack first. Get my tray out of the way. All right, I'm going to grab these ships. So it is a coastal ship, 2 torpedo boat destroyers, 1 coastal sub, 1 light cruiser, and 1 destroyer against a Polish torpedo boat destroyer. So we'll set that up over here. And we've got the defense at a 2. All right, so the light cruiser is a 5. Destroyer is a 4. The coastal, I think, is a 6. Coastal defense ship, 6. Coastal sub is a 2, and torpedo boat destroyers are also 2s. All right, so there is what we got. Let's roll some dice. Yeah, there's some shadows there, isn't there? Well, I think we can still see it. Trying to figure out what's the best way to... let's roll this one and just see how it goes. All right, so we've got 3 2s. We'll use those as the gray. You know what, I'll just throw them all separate. That seems, for this battle, that seems better. So here's the 2 torpedo boat destroyers and the coastal sub. So no hit there. So we've got a 4 for the destroyer, which is a miss. We have a 5 for the light cruiser, which is a miss, and a 6 for the coastal ship, which is a hit. That's a 3. So it will defend the Polish torpedo boat destroyer at a 2, and you got a 4. So I think I'm going to have to roll these a little different because that was kind of far away. The good news is that battle was pretty much assured to be a German victory. So I'll put those ships back in the sea zone they were in, which was 15. I'll probably just straighten those up later. All right, so the first battle, we will bring over here the spade, which is Belgium. And of course, guys are falling everywhere. Let's set up the chart. I think what I won't do is I won't show this chart. I'll just show the dice rolling in the tray. So we've got a Marine at a 2, right? Yeah, Marine at a 2. Paratrooper on the first round gets to be a 3. I'm going to put a dice by him so I know to move him down to a 2 on the next turn. We've got some first strike ability here on these artilleries. We've got 5 Panzers at a 6. We got a tactical at a 7 and a medium bomber at a 7. There's our 4 defenders for Belgium. Sorry, guys. Your casualties of this: a fighter at a 6, 3 cavalry at a 3. Oh, 5 cavalry, sorry. I should have probably chipped that out. A motorized is at a 2 and a regular infantry at a 2. All right, so there are no rivers or cities or any of those kind of penalties. So let's put the dice tray here and we'll look at the dice instead of the board. All right, so we've got 3 infantry type units at a 2. And maybe I'll use a different color dice. Those are all misses. Let's use, let's grab these yellows here and some blues. All right. Oh, you know what I should have done first was these artillery here. We'll still count those 3 infantry rolls. I've got 4 artillery with the first strike, and they are at a 3. And there's a 1. So we got 1. So 1 Belgian infantry comes off the board. All right. Now we're going to... you know what? Those infantry were all boosted by the artillery. Oh well, I rolled them. They're done. I'll move them up next turn. But I've got a paratrooper at a 3, and then 5 cavalry at a 3. So it'll be 6 at 3. 2 hits. So the Belgians are down to 1 infantry. Let's do the 5 tanks and the fighter. And these are all at 6. There's 2, 3 hits, so they're done. All right, so Belgium has 3 infantry that can return fire because of that first strike of the artillery. And they are returning fire at a 4. And they get 1. So what we will lose is this 1 infantry who doesn't fit in with the rest of everybody. And then Belgium loses 4. All right. That is that maneuver. So what that means is the majority of the forces stay here. But blitzing into Picardy will be, oh, you can see it over here. These three self-propelled artillery, 5 panzers. Now they pair with 3 of those, so I can bring 2 more units. We will bring the fighter and the tactical, so that means now they have 3 movements left. And that would have been better if had that been completely on the camera. All right, so this is the battle in the diamond here for Picardy. But you know what, before I do that, let me put my units in Belgium here where they're supposed to go. And I'm gonna chip out that cavalry. So it's 5 cavalry. And got a paratrooper, we got a marine, a motorized, and an artillery. All right, so that stays behind. These units are blitzing into Picardy on the diamond card. So, oh, but I got 1 bomber that cannot take place. And I put that 0 on there because all my planes I want to land here in Bavaria. So that is just a reminder. All right, so the next battle, I don't really need to put that out on the card, or the battle board, I should say. I've got 5, well, you know what, let's just roll that tactical bomber because it's a 7. And it's a 5. All right, so we got a hit. Oh, but you know what? The artillery gets the first. Do they get a first strike on a blitz move? I don't know. If they did, well, they would have had a hit. So I guess we'll see how that goes. Here's the French response at a 4, and they got a hit. So I'm going to lose one of these self-propelled artilleries. If on a blitz move there's a first strike ability, then I get that back and the French guy goes away regardless. So these units we will put into this diamond area, which is 5 panzers, 2 self-propelled artillery, and then the planes will land in Bavaria. And I'm making a big mess of Bavaria here. All right, so those 2 battles are complete for round 1, that is. The next 2 battles will be pretty straightforward because there's no blitzing going to happen here. So we will do the battle for Western Poland first. And we'll move this over to the battle board because that will be somewhat different. Because we have a cavalry defending at 2. And we have 3 infantry defending at 4. And looking, that's not where the river is. The river's on the next battle. All right, so attacking is 2 infantry and 4 infantry. Now, this time I'm going to remember to boost one of the infantry to a 3 because of that artillery. So that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 infantry at 2. We have a light tank at 4. We have a fighter at 6. And then the elite units of the Third Reich, it's a +1 to attack defense. So this panzer attacks at a 7. And that is that. So let's do this in the right order now. We'll roll our first strike artillery. And that's a hit, so they'll lose that cavalry, I'm sure. So I had 5 at 2. And there's 1 hit. And now we've got an infantry at 3. We have a light tank at 4. We have a fighter at 6. There's a hit. And a panzer at 7. And that is a hit. So 3 more hits. which I think is what they have. Yeah, they have 3 infantry, so they are wiped. So let's roll 3 dice for their defense at 4. And they missed, so that's the good news there. So let me grab these units and we'll put them back here into Poland, Eastern Poland that is. All right, so what do I got left? Just the stack. Oh, there's a plane too. I can't forget that plane. All right, so the plane has a movement of 3 left. So 1, 2, 3, it goes into Bavaria as well. All right, last battle of the first round. I'm gonna try and say it. Dolonoske. That's what it looks like upside down. All right, so that is on the club card here. So let me get that over here and we'll put that out. And get off there. There we go. All right, so defending is just 2 infantry in that territory at 4. Looking for rivers, no rivers. That's not true. This cavalry came across a river. So it'll have to go down to a 1 on the attack. No, it attacks at a 3. It'll have to go to a 2. All right, so we have 4 infantry, 1 artillery, 1 light tank, and 1 fighter. Now the infantry, one of these infantry will be boosted. All right, so let's back up and roll some dice. So the artillery first strike is, I'll be dang. So they're down to 1 infantry. I'm starting to like the artillery. Maybe I should have bought more. All right, so I have a cavalry and 3 infantry at 2. I need another dice. And that's 2 hits. That's, yeah, I only needed 1 hit. All right, so the Polish return is a 9, so that's a miss. All right, so let me move these units back. And what was, oh, that was infantry. So let me just grab that here. And they're gonna come back here to Dolonoske, who knows what that is. All right, I'm just gonna leave this here and grab the rest of those units. All right, so cavalry, light tank, artillery. All right, and then the fighter has a movement of 3 and he goes back here to Bavaria as well. So let's pull off, well, I did pull off all the markers. I'm missing 1 though. I don't see where it is. I don't think I need it because I got 3 battles coming up. So what you do after the first combat is now you'll do a non-combat move, and that's what this arrow is here. We're gonna move up 1 infantry, 2 infantry, 3 infantry from Bavaria. And I think that's it. This infantry here can move up into Western Germany, but it doesn't really matter at this point. I think we're good. I think we're good. All right, so that's the end of my non-coms because part of the non-com was all these planes landing here. Now I'm gonna move this back here because on the second non-com, I want my planes to land in Western Germany. All right, so the next battles will be Paris, obviously. We'll do that on the club. And we have a heart. We're going to do that in Yugoslavia. And the diamond will be here in Warsaw. So let's line up Paris first. Defending Paris will be a medium bomber, a fighter, an infantry, and an artillery. And I got this city marker because the infantry defends at a +1 in the city. And I got this river marker because all these units are coming across a river. So the 6 Panzer, is it 5 or 6 Panzers? It's 5 Panzers. 5 Panzers, 2 self-propelled artillery. From Belgium, on our second combat move, is the 5 cavalry. And then the motorized will be bringing the artillery, because it can tow that. And that's what our battle for Paris will look like. And these 2 guys have to stay here in Belgium by themselves. All right, so that's captured, that's captured. All right, so that is our club battle. Let's go over here to our diamond. Let me get that card. Well, you know what? I put all that on the diamond, so I'm going to switch these. The diamond battle is Paris. The club battle will be Warsaw. And Warsaw is defended a little bit more. I wonder where there's a good spot. I'm messing up all these Russian pieces. I'm going to have to try and find where they go. All right, that'll work. All right, so defending in Warsaw is 2 infantry. And I've got a city marker because they will defend at 5. I've got a cavalry and a fighter. So I don't want to bring any fighters or planes into Warsaw because I don't want to risk losing them on this battle. All right, so these forces are crossing a river from East Poland. These from Dolinoske, is that even close? They are not, so I need to keep them separate. So there is, let me see what that total infantry stack is. So 6 infantry are crossing a river, along with 1 artillery. The artillery doesn't get the river penalty, so I'll put that river marker on here. And then these do not get the river penalty. So another artillery and the 4, of course I dropped it, 4 Czechoslovakian, or Slovakian, I don't know, they've got 2 different countries there, and a light tank. We'll call them Slovakian infantry and the cavalry. All right, so that is your club battle. The hearts, we're going into the mountains of Yugoslavia. I wonder where I can set this that it's not going to be a problem. Let's kind of just slide things. All right, so we've got from Austria, well, let's do the defenders first. That's how we're doing it. All right, defending in Yugoslavia is 3 infantry, 2 cavalry. From Austria, we've got 1, 2, 3 infantry, and a mountain infantry. We also have this air transport going 1, 2, and dropping a paratrooper. And I'm going to leave that there because I think it has, yeah, it's at an air base, so it's got plenty to get back. So let's just put it 1, 2, 3. It'll go all the way back to that zone. We're leaving that mechanized for a reason. All right, so our planes will go 1, 2, and they're coming from an air base, so they will have a movement of 3 left. And we've got 3 fighters, a tactical, and a medium bomber. Have I forgotten anything? I think not. All right. Let's save the Paris battle for last. Let's go into Warsaw. I'll bring this over here. And we will set it up on the board here. All right, so because of the city, these infantry are going to defend at 5. They have a 6, and then the cavalry defends at a 2. So, river penalty. All these infantry here have a river penalty, so they're all at 1. And then the river penalty is just for first round of combat. This light tank will be a 3. This elite tank will be a 6. Then we'll have a light tank that is normal, a cavalry that is normal, 2 infantry that will be boosted, 2 that will not, and then the 2 artillery. All right, so first strike on the artillery, and we got 2 of those. Oh, no, didn't work here. All right, so now we've got, what is that? 6 infantry at 1. And that's a 10, that's nothing. All right, so nothing there. 2 infantry at 2. Oh, wow, there's 2 hits. I've got a light tank, a cavalry, and 2 boosted infantry at 3. All right, that's 4. And there's a 2, there's another hit. So I think I need 1 more hit. I've got a medium or a light tank at a 4 and a medium tank at a 6. So that's it. That's the 4 hits we needed. So they have a cavalry at 2. We'll roll that again. And it's nothing. 2 infantry at 5. Ooh, there's 2 hits. And then we have a fighter at 6. So 3 hits. They got 3 hits. We lost, or we got 4 hits and they got 3. So we'll take 3. And we won't take 3. We'll take that guy. We'll take that guy because we're going to be stacking, and we'll take 1 ship. So that's our 3 casualties. They are wiped out in Warsaw. Warsaw is fallen. Let's take the river off. All right, so what goes back is going to be 2, 3, 6, so 7 infantry. I'll go ahead and bring that all over here and stick it on the board. So 7 infantry. I got 2 light tanks. I got 1 medium tank. I got 1 cavalry. And I got 2 artillery. So that is the survival. And I'll probably have to do some chipping there and get that looking better. All right, so now into Yugoslavia. I'll just, well, I can't bring that and move this, so I'll set that over here for now. And we will do this battle. It was really the only way I thought that this would work, you know, shooting a video while trying to maneuver all these units. So 2 cavalry at 2 and 3 infantry at 4. So there's no boost for defense in the mountains. However, there is a penalty. Not for aircraft, though. That's why we brought all the planes. So we got 2 7s and 3 6s. So the mountain infantry does not get hindered by the attack in a mountain. So he's still going to attack at a 2. The paratrooper is dropping at a 3. He's in a mountain, so he goes to a 2. These 3 infantry are at 1. All right, so we're really relying on our Air Force on this one. There's just no way around that. All right. I think when I slide that, that whole camera vibrates. Looks really bad. All right. No artillery, so we're going to go right into the infantry. 3 at 1. Nothing. 2 at 2. Close. I got 3 fighters at 6. There's 2 hits. And then I got a 7. The tactical bomber is a target select. I think it's a 1 or a 2. Didn't matter, it's a 12. So the other bomber, medium bomber at 7. Wow, so we only got 2 hits. So that's going to be the 2 cavalry. And they defend at a 2. Nothing. 3 infantry at a 4. And, oh, they got 2 hits. We're in trouble now. So 2 infantry gone, 2 cavalry gone. Let's roll round 2. These dice out of here. All right, so I got a 1 at 1. 2 at 2. And 3 at 6. There we go. That's all 3. So I didn't get to the bomber, or the 2 bombers, but the infantry will defend themselves at 4. Oh, they got 2. So we're going to lose the paratrooper and the infantry and the 3 infantry. So we survive with 1 mountain infantry to take the territory. I didn't think that that battle was going to be that tight, but it certainly was. My planes really let me down. That's what I'm going to say. All right. So the last and final battle is Paris. And if we're successful, then we got all the Vichy rolling coming on for all the territories and ships. So let's move this over here. And, oh, I gotta land my planes, sorry. So the tactical, the medium bomber, and the 3 fighters, they will all go to Western Germany. All right, so where were we? Oh yeah, these are casualties. Let's get them off the board here. Paris is defended by 1 infantry in the city at 5, an artillery, which will be a first strike. I got to remember that. A fighter and the bomber. What is the bomber? Bomber's a 4. All right. So attacking will be 3 artillery, 2 self-propelled, 1 regular, 1 motorized. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cavalry. Pretty sure that motorized is it boosted here? It says up here, doesn't it? I'm looking for artillery supported infantry. So maybe it's just infantry. I don't know. All right, and then we got 5 medium armor. They are all on a river, yes. So for the first turn, we're going to move everything down 1. And let's see how this battle goes. So let's move the camera so we can see the tray. We have 3 German artillery at 3. Nothing. We have 1 French artillery at 3, and that's nothing. All right. So we got a motorized at 1, and 5 cavalry at 2. Oh, that's a terrible roll. And then 5 armor at 5. So there we got 4 of 5. So that was a good roll. Oh, that's all they have. They only have 4. All right. So the artillery, French artillery is already rolled. So we have a 4 for the bomber. Miss. We have a 5 for the infantry. Miss. And a 7. It's not a 7. It's a 6 for the fighter. 12. All right. So they didn't get a single hit. So that balances out that Picardy hit there, I guess. I don't know. That is the end of that battle. Let me move those back into Paris here and get that out of there. All right, so we survived with 5 tanks, 2 self-propelled artillery, 1 self-propelled, or 1 regular artillery, 5 cavalry, and 1 motorized. All right, so there is that. Let me clean up some of these other markers that don't mean anything. So that is the end of combat. We have non-combat on the final round. I've landed my planes. That would be the non-combat there. We're going to drive this mech up here into Western Is that West? Yeah, Western Germany. Non-com, these guys will retreat one space into Western Germany. And I believe that is it, because everything else is moved and fought. The Navy does not get a second round of combat, so they are done. Take that marker off. All right, so put these away, get some spots cleared up. All right, so IPPs. We have Germany going up 2 for Belgium and 1, 2 for Poland. So let's do that, because that doesn't really affect anybody's. Actually, none of them is going to affect, because France just lost their dough. All right, so we went up 2 for Belgium. That goes to 26. 2 for Poland. That goes to 28. Whoop, sorry about that. And for France, all these units go away. And I should have, oh, I can just dump them here on the casualty pile. And I don't have German markers. Let me get that. You know what? I can just put on German markers later. So we got 1. I think that's 4 in Paris. No, it's 3. All right, so there's 4, 5, 6, 7, 10. So we're going to go up 10, which, so that puts us to 38. We're going to take France off the board, because they will come back as Free France and Vichy France based off the rolls. All right, and then Germany will pick up any Vichy France dollars. Let's see, I don't think I have anything else left to do here, except go on the other side of the board and roll for some Vichy stuff. All right.
You want me to go ahead and put the grill on?
If you want to. Gonna cook some pizza on the grill tonight. Should be fun. All right, so for Vichy, we've got rolls for the colonies at hand, and then we've got a roll for the French Navy. So got my little Vichy tray here, and we're going to start on the far end here. And if you've probably noticed throughout the turn, there's dice, colored dice everywhere. The blocks are all by the dice color. So this first one we're going to roll for is the red block, and I won't try and say all the names, but there are four territories in the Pacific over here. And let's see, I need a dice, obviously. And it is, as stated in the dice tray, 1 through 6 is Vichy, 7 through 12 is Free France. So here goes the Pacific colonies. They are Free France. So let's put a Free France marker on one of them. So the militia that Ozark placed there paid off. Let's go to the next group here, and that will be these green here. It's these 3 green around Madagascar and East Africa. And the dice say 1, so those will be Vichy. So we'll put a Vichy there, and I will change out, because I have this light colored blue for Vichy, and I'll change that out off camera. No need for everyone to see me do all that kind of stuff. All right, so I don't know if there's a specific order that has to be done, but it says the next one is these 2 over here. The other one's way up there by Canada. And they are Free France. So let me grab a Free France marker. All right, so the next one is Algeria. So that would be these 3 red here. And they are Vichy. All right, so Ozark didn't put anything in there. He must have known. All right, now we are in the Africa, 2 Africas here. I think this one's first, so let's roll that. And it is Free France. All right, so here is where the gamble, will it pay off? Because Ozark built a port here, hoping that this would go free. If it goes Vichy, I'm sure he'll have the forces to take it, but it will be irritating for a while. And, oh, it was almost free, but it's not. Vichy, all right. The last ones that we have, excuse me, is going to be these 3 black dice, and they are all individual. So I'll just start over here with Morocco, and it is Vichy. All right, Tunisia. I think I just spit on the board. It is, well, that was another one that was almost free, and then it rolled Vichy. All right, now Syria, he built an infantry over there, but he didn't get that one. So some of his gambles paid off, some did not, but that's kind of how the dice rolls. That is it for territories. Let's get the ship card out, and we'll do that one. That one's a little more tricky because it's not 50-50. It's a whole bunch of different types of rolls, and then we've got on the production chart we've got a couple ships that we got to roll for. These I'm going to put in southern France because they are Vichy, and I need 2 roundels. One for Corsica and one for southern France, because those always go Vichy. And then you have your recruitment roll. So these are the starting forces for Vichy in southern France. And then you have a recruitment roll every turn, you know, of a 1 or a 2. So it's not huge, but I'll leave that dice there to remind me. And I'll still forget, but let's go. I lost my dice. Here's my dice. All right. So we're going to start from this side of the map and work our way over on the ships. We have a sub in 126, and 1 through 3, it is Free French. 4 through 6 is scuttled. 7 through 10, it becomes Vichy. 11 through 12, it becomes German. Unless it's in the Pacific, then it becomes Japanese. All right, so dice is 4, scuttled. So this one is gone. Let's go over to the next ship. There's a sub here in 122. And it is a 1. So it is the Allies. So that stays blue and Free France, much to Mark the Shark's chagrin. All right, so we've got 2 ships here, and they're different, so we'll roll them separate. So we'll roll the destroyer first. 9, and that is Vichy. All right, so you know what? I have those. I don't have enough markers to mark all the ships, so I'm gonna have to do the ships as we roll. All right, so this one is Vichy. All right, so let's do the transport now. And it is a 5. It is scuttled. So Vichy would have liked to have had that with those guys there. All right, so there's a cruiser in Sea Zone 82. That's a 7. That is Vichy. All right, so let me set that out. Grab a cruiser sculpt. All right, what do we have next? We have a destroyer in Sea Zone 81. We'll roll it down here. All right, so we're rolling for this destroyer here. And it is an 8. That is Vichy. All right, so, how about that? I don't have any more destroyers. Well, we'll use this roundel. And I'll have to change that out. They might be on the other map, we got a BBR game going, and there's Vichy units on that. All right, so the next is this destroyer in Sea Zone 80. So the easiest would be not to be Vichy. 12. So that would be German. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it right away, and it has the ability to sail under the French flag all the way around to the German port of their choice. So I'll make that German at a later date. All right, so this next sea zone, what do we got here? A torpedo boat destroyer, a transport, and 2 battleships. So this is the important one here. So we'll do the torpedo boat destroyer first. 10, so that is Vichy. I don't have one of those either. And I'm out of roundels, so I will set it on that island there. All right, the next one is the transport. 8. Vichy as well. All right, well, this is a Vichy type navy so far. All right, so 2 battleships, doesn't really matter. Let me grab another dice. Here we go. So I'll roll them together. They're in the same sea zone. So we got a 6 is scuttled and a 10 is Vichy. It's kind of a glare on there. All right, so scuttled. Oh, whoop. And that is Vichy. So, is there any other ships? Yes, there's 2 more subs in Sea Zone 76. I'll roll those together. And both French. So I'm sure he would have rather had those battleships, but he's got the subs. And I think that's it for, let me look the board over as far as the rolling goes. I think I've got everything covered. Get all this stuff out of the way. And really burned up all my Vichy markers. I don't know where the rest of those are. I'll have to hunt those down. All right. So, okay, so we can do our placement of units. So we've got this sub, and I'm not going to place it in Sea Zone 13 this time. We're going to place it up here in Sea Zone 15. And we've got a strategic bomber into Western Germany, go figure. We've got a paratrooper into Western Germany. We have 2 more infantry into Western Germany. And before I get crazy here, yeah, there's no British paratroopers anywhere, so I'm safe. I've got 1 more paratrooper that I will put down here in Bavaria. I get my free Spanish infantry in Berlin. Matter of fact, let's just build one of those infantry in Berlin. I know there's no paratroopers, but you know how you get paranoid. All right, so that is it for the builds. Well, let's roll. We'll roll that recruitment roll here. I got to roll a 1 or a 2. I don't know if I get it right away, but so if I get it right away, we're going to put a Vichy infantry, and I got to put it in one of these territories that has a dollar amount to it. Hope Morocco's probably on the front lines. So if I get it, it's going there. If I don't get to do the recruitment roll until next turn, then we'll take it off. I will await the decision on that. And now we're going to collect some money. Let's get some stuff out of the way. We've got the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact has been signed. So Germany will get an additional $5. And then this sub base, I'm going to go ahead and put that out if I can reach it from this side of the map. It doesn't go in the Sahara Desert. It goes all the way up here in that sea zone there where Murmansk is. So Germany gets to use that if they so desire for submarines. So we're going to get that $5. I'm going to leave that on there. So we look on the board here. The Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact is signed, so we get that. We now get to Sweden. I did forget, we do get to also activate one of the three neutrals that are aligned to Germany. I'm reaching behind me as I grab a German roundel. And we're going to align Romania. And I know what you're thinking. What? Why? Why? Don't do it. I have a pact made with Russia that I would activate that first in return for some other items. So that is going to give the Russians an extra D12 roll. So if it gets to be like a 6 or higher, you know, probably worth his time. If he gets a low number, well, maybe that was a mistake. So anyway, we'll put this 3 up here for Romania. So they have in bonus $6. And then they have this 5 for the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact. So that will be $11 plus the 38 that they have. So that will be $49. France was at $10. So that's $59. Let me get that out now because it just occurred to me that I get so there's my 50. Let's take all that off of there. There's my $59, 50 and 9. It occurred to me that I get all the income from the Vichy France countries. So I have to kind of go look and see. I don't think any of these are worth anything. So there's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So Vichy has $5. So they get to the 5. So that's an extra 5 for Germany. So that'll be $64. And I think, if I'm adding all that up correctly, that's right. Free France, they have 1. And these are 2, 3 over here. So they have $3. I don't think any of these others are worth. So we're going to put Free France at $3. We'll see how that goes, because I think that's where that is. All right, so the final move is we do get on the elite of the 3rd rank, any term that Warsaw is aligned or controlled by Germany, they can upgrade a mechanized. So that's what this unit here is. We're going to upgrade that. That will cost me $1, so we'll take that off our stack here. So $1 to do that. This armor, it says any turn after. So it doesn't have to be the same turn that you declare war on Poland, just any turn after. So I'll do that next turn. We also have, on any turn, Yugoslavia is German aligned or possessed. They have the ability to buy 4 mountain division units at 3 each. So that'll be these 4 units here, and we're going to take 12 off. So that'll be 10. I'll keep that. All right, so there is, we've got our $12 for the 4 mountain units, our $1 for the mechanized, and that leaves us with $51. And if that's not clear as mud, I don't know what is. So let me put these out on the board. Whoop. So nothing switches out for these mountain guys. They are pretty much like Croatia and different ethnic groups that aligned with Germany. And then up here, I've got this mechanized that I purchased and left in Germany because it has to be in a home country. And that's where we are there. So I see this turn has gone over an hour. I apologize for that, but I don't know any other way to do all those items without eating up a lot of time. And hopefully I haven't missed anything or made any terrible mistakes. Russia is up next. Panzer King's channel. Look for it.